So I'm not a cheater. Never have been. I don't believe in cheating. So I had been with somebody for a couple of years and we was having problems. So I told him, let's just end it because this is not working. So he agreed. So one of my guy friends had asked me out, and I thought he was cool, nice little calmness about himself, nice little swag. So I said, cool. I went out with him and we went out, had a good time, ate, laughed, talked. We had a really good time. Okay. So one night he called me. He was like, hey, I'm going to get something to eat. You want something to eat? I was like, yeah, cool. So he said, where should I bring it to? I said, you can bring it to my house. So he got the food, called me. I gave him the address. He came to the house, brought the food. So at this time, I didn't have no furniture. I had an air bed and I had 2 chairs and a stool. So he brought the food in. He came, I put the chair in the room. He sat in the chair and then we put the stool is a wooden stool. That's what we sat the food on. So I'm sitting on the bed. He's sitting in the chair. So we ate the food, blah, 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 talking, laughing or whatever. So I guess he tries to be sexy or whatever he tried to do. He gets up off the chair, tries to jump on the bed, not knowing it was an air bed. So he got up the chair, jumped on the bed, hit the edge of the bed, bounced off the bed, hit the floor, farted on his way down, and some kind of way hit his head on the wooden stool. At that point, I was done. I couldn't believe it. So he left. That kind of threw me off. I was like, wow, he's not as cool as I thought he was. So I didn't want him to feel bad. So I let him come over again. This time he brought more food. We ate the food. He stayed a couple of hours. So I'm, explaining to him, I got to get up early in the morning. I have something to do. He tells me he was planning on staying till 7. What do you mean you plan on staying to 7? How do you come to somebody's house and tell them what you're going to do? Okay, at this point, I was done again. He's never, ever, ever, ever coming back over here again. So I made up my mind that. But, it's a lot of other stuff happened in between, and I realized he wasn't the dude that I thought he was, so long story short, I felt really bad about it, even though I told, my dude that it was over. I don't think in my heart that I knew it was really over. So I probably just told him that so I can explore, but that was a bad move. That didn't work out. I ended that. And I learned the biggest mistake of my life. One of the biggest lessons of my life, shall I say. People are not always who they seem to be. He put on this facade that he was such this great guy and calm guy, and he's this and all the time he was, he was just the opposite. So it was a lot of stuff happened, in between that, but I'm not going to get into all that. But people aren't always who they seem. So just be careful.